Hey, you down here? Okay, back again with another stream. Today's been set up and fix and mix up day. Um, I'll show you something I figured out. My previous previous stream got split somehow. Let's see, it won't go. Okay, I won't go into that right now. I'm gonna go show it. It got split. I don't know. It dropped out and then came back, and I never realized it. I guess because I paused my preview. And let me listen to my sound right quick. Okay, so I went ahead and uploaded the backup video. Luckily, it was all good, but the audio was just really terrible to me. Well, I think anybody would really notice it. The mic was fine. I kept hearing a little telltale noise in it, and I've been trying. I think I finally remembered and got it back to the way I had it before. When I started talking, you could hear like a little shh, and I thought, well, sometimes you can hear a compressor kicking in when you have it too tight. That's what we would call it. But also, I had kind of forgotten the way I ended up adjusting. My volume levels were fine on my mixer. It goes mixer, mic, mixer, V-amp, effects, and then back to the computer. And then there's an input level you got to set on the computer, and then there's an input level on the OBS Studio. But I just leave that on max for everything. That's the simplest thing to do. Don't have, that's just one less thing to. You always know where it should be. And so on the board, I finally decided I had. I had decided I had too much gain. I had the gain all the way off, and that's when I started hearing that shh again. That shh, shh. It's kind of hard to. It's not that loud and exactly like that, but that's the best I can do. So anyway, I listened to it on my headphones. That's the only way to really figure things out, is to listen. And I backed off. I ended up giving it some gain because I knew I always had before, and I ended up giving it. There's marks on there, and so I kind of. And that helps. I listen to mix, but I kind of remember where I am on the marks to know how to get back there. So one mark from all the way off, and then I backed off on my channel 1 mic, my mic channel from where I had it, 1 mark. That seemed to get it about right. So I don't hear that anymore right now, so hopefully it's gone. And I think I hear it more in my videos that I record on the computer than I do when they're on YouTube. And it may be because YouTube does have it has audio leveling and stuff built in. But okay, so then let's go to the desk screencast now. The wireless mic off my Cam 3 wireless mic is what I call it. It's phone 3, and it's a camera, but I don't use the camera. I just use the wireless mic most of the time. It was just way lower, and it was just terrible. I would have to turn when I was listening back to my video. I'd have to turn it up, 3/4 of the way on my computer to hear it myself. And then when I would switch to the SM58, it's blowing me out of the room, and I knew it was going to do that. And so sure enough, I was right. So what I figured out is finally, after a bunch of checking the apps in the phone, checking every input and every adjustment, it finally remembered that okay, now here it is, that input on the desktop. It's on every scene, and I ended up having to put these settings in every scene. But if you right click in there, there's filters that you can add. And there's a gain, and that's what I had done. And so I sat there and listened to them back and forth, and I finally decided that in my situation here, 16, it started at 0 dB, and so I'm going up above 0 dB. Needed that in this case, and it didn't cause any distortion because it's a really weak signal anyway. So I kept thinking how great the phone was managing the audio. Well, it's doing okay, but it is still a weak signal, even with my lapel mic. It's just that I had used to gain effects, and there's a lot of cool effects in here. I'll do that and just not. There's compressor, gain, noise gate, noise suppression, and video delay. And I remember. Just when I think I'm doing good. Okay, I remember trying to get the video deleted because there's still that delay with either mic. The settings, I guess this is where they put it because I don't see it in the main audio settings anymore. But you can add it as a filter, and I didn't do that. I might try it again later, but I just get it back to a good, you know, basically good overall, pretty good. So anyway, I did that on every. Okay, so I did one, and then when I was looking through there, I noticed when I was looking through the right-click menu, I noticed there's copy filters and paste filters, and I was like, oh, what do you? I said, what do you use that for? And then, oh, okay. So what I did is I copied that filter, and then I went to every other scene and just right-clicked on the that mic, you know, that camera mic, and pasted the filter. So I didn't have to go in there and add and adjust over and over. So I'll show you right here. Okay, now here's both of them. They're pretty close to the same level now. I might even have the wireless mic a little louder. Though there it is all by itself. Now it's back to normal. And you can turn on, you can go right here. I don't want to really mess anything up by clicking. I guess it'll be all right on this newer version. It doesn't seem to cause trouble, but I won't change any settings, but even going into them used to cause trouble and cause it to use OBS Studio to use up all my memory after I did that, and I'd have to close my. But you can go in here and into advanced properties. You got, and I didn't notice this at first. You got to do that to see everything. See, there it is. There's the 3 audio inputs in my system. The audio from Chem 3, the mic aux, which is the SM58 coming from the VM, mixer and VM, the desktop audio. Now, at first I didn't have desktop audio, and I realized, well, it wasn't set in the actual regular settings. It wasn't set to the right device, so that was another thing. But the reason I didn't have any, at the beginning of all this, I didn't have any audio. And so these weren't checked. And I don't know why there's 4 instead of just 2, because it's a 2-channel system. I don't have 4 channels in this computer, but my analog card doesn't. Now the software could do as many channels as the software wants to do, you know. But you can turn, now this is a new to me. I don't know when they started it, because I was using a pretty old version of OBS. But you can turn this on. I won't do it because it'll sound really bad. You get a lot of echo and everything. But you can turn these on. You can do monitor only, mute output. Well, that would mute the output of whatever your mic. You wouldn't want to do that. But monitor and output. You can do that and then still be recording the audio and hear it through your speakers, or you can plug in your headphones like this computer. If I plug in headphones, it mutes the speakers. But I tried that way earlier today, and it still was enough of a delay. There's still enough audio latency in, you know, going through my mic. I was using the SM58 through the mixer, through the VM, back to the computer, back to my headphones. A lot of latency, and it was just that brain freezing kind of delay. So anyway, that is cool though, because that did help me get things set up, and then I turned it on for a bit and then turned it back off. Actually, doing it in the speakers for me is better than the headphones, because I'm not trapped right next to that sound. So there you go. Now let's get back. It's changed spots. I noticed desktop audio was on top. So let's listen. Let me get on a camera so that I won't be doing that, looking at that video feedback, and you won't be looking at it. But let's listen. I had that turned up. There we go. So it's turned up all the way because I couldn't hear it on the wireless before, and I was trying to figure it out. Oh, I have to change I confused myself on changing my mice. Okay, I wasn't sure which mic I was listening to. Well, I just wasn't sure. A speaker, I can always tell on my good speakers, my sound system, but on the little tiny speakers on that Dell 6000 laptop are so tinny that they just sound about the same on it. So I can't just instantly know which mic it is like normal. But yeah, if you're doing OBS Studio, there's some things if you didn't know that already, things that you can do with it. And if you got 2 mic inputs like I do, 2 separate, different sources like that, then that's how you can balance them. I don't need any, gain on that SM58. I got all I need in that right there, in the mixer plus the VM effects unit. Oh, and I don't know if I said this, but I finally realized that I kept thinking, okay, why does turning up the gain get rid of that little sound on the SM58? Well, because it's not because it's probably not the compressor doing it. It's the noise gate. Noise gates will do that too. They'll make a little noise when now the newer ones might not. This one's almost 10 years old, and they used to really make a lot of noise, noticeable noise if you clamped them down too hard back in the 90s when I was mixing sound for bands. So the good ones, so the DBX and all those, rack mount units would do that, and you had to learn how to set them, to get what you need, but not to get that noise. It came in every time. And live sound, and you turn it up, you're gonna really be. I mean, I was mixing metal band, Christian metal bands and Christian rock bands and Christian punk bands and stuff, and they're really, really loud. And so, you need that. Like in the monitors is where we would really use that noise gate in the monitors. In the monitors and in the house in the PA, because you've got everything. Well, unless you could afford to buy all Crown amps and a good Mackie mix. We usually did use Mackie mixers, but let's say we were using one of the places I mixed for had PV amps, and they had that PV whoosh, when there's nothing going on. And some of them did, some of them didn't. But anyway, we had that, especially in the monitors. We had you put your cheapest stuff on the monitors because let the band deal with it, but not the people that are paying to watch. So anyway, making a short story long, same principles even with this little they were electronics back then too, but this little V-amp, it's a guitar effects if you don't know what it is, that little blue one there, but it also has some vocal effects in it too, and it even explains to you how to use them in the manual. That's why I got it, because you don't need anything really. You need noise gate, compressor for vocals, noise gate, compressor, and an effect and a reverb that you like. That's all you need for your vocals. And then for the guitar, we can see right behind my head my guitar back there against the wall, and that's where it stays. My music that I play in and out, I did play that and record it years ago, but I never have been able to learn to be a good guitar player. I could just play with the guitar. That's what I always say. So, and I don't get it out very often anymore. I love guitars and everything, but I was able to. My voice is not as good as it used to be with all these allergies and just not singing anymore. But I was a pretty good singer. I almost had a band once, but I did some recording, but I never was in a band. But anyway, I always mixed. I'm always the tech. I'm the tech head, I'm always into that stuff the most. So anyway, let's get going with this tech here. Let's see. I want to switch to Cam 2 and get my technical advanced long stick so I can switch my KVM switch over to the other machine and get back to what I was doing. Okay, so the ASRock with the 8-core 8300 AMD with 8 gig of RAM, the wonderful new machine I built for Mom. I mean, it's upgraded her machine. I was trying to scan my USB backup drive, and I let it run all night, and at some point during the night, the Bitdefender scanning app just shut down or crashed or whatever. I never could find the logs to see what had happened to it. And so I forgot to just open the app again and see if maybe I could see it in there. But because there usually is this log for every scan. But well, I did look on the SD card that I run it off of. It's on my easy to boot SD card, and it does automatically save logs on there. And I looked in there, and it didn't have one for today. The last one from about a week or two ago. So if it crashed, it didn't ever get to write its log, most likely. So Oh, so anyway, this is the system, and a point being that, okay, this is Clam AV. So what I did is I booted it up to my, I made it a week or two ago, Fedora 28 Live Security uh, remix, Fedora remix that's you get from their site. It's live security. It's for mostly for pen testing and stuff like that. And well, I mean, it's for everything security really, except it doesn't come with Clam AV or on it, which is really the only virus scanner that runs on Linux anymore. Used to Avast had one, but anyway, it doesn't come with Clam AV. But you, in this, especially this machine, I boot it up, and then just open up DNF and install it. Just don't run the updates because that would fill your. You only have about 650 megabytes of live system space, virtual hard drive on there. So that would be more than the space you got. If I clicked on that little icon and did updates, so don't do that. But you can install on, like, it's probably about, what was it? I think it was 200 megabytes or something. So that's plenty there. But as long as you don't add any more stuff, I've done it on how many times I keep adding. Like say, okay, I'm gonna add KRFB so I can do remote desktop and make a good video instead of a crappy, camera, low resolution camera. That's aimed at the screen. Well, if I try to do that, it would probably end up crashing that thing. So, and it's got us, and see, remember you got to have room for your cache while the system's running and all that stuff. So, that's part. I think that's going to be written to your virtual drive, and I'm calling it a virtual drive because that's what it is to me. It's there while it's running, and then it goes away when you shut it down. temporary drive, whatever you want to call it. But it's been scanning for 2 or 3 hours now. And first I ran one scan. I scanned my SD card. I copied the files I needed onto it and then ran a scan. And there wasn't anything in there that I was worried about. It always shows some things. There was some broken executables, which were actually files that make, the easy to boot system work, and that's what everything was. And two encrypted zips, which they should be encrypted. They're not because they have malware in them, And so up here it's the same. So far it's just system files. Well, I have a backup of the easy to boot on the Seagate expansion USB drive, so it scanned through them and same thing, same results, Oh, there's a couple. Sardu keeps coming up like that. I might delete those when I get done. You can't do it till you're done anyway. Or Prep USB does that. It says broken executable. Well, they're. I don't think there's anything wrong with them. The thing is, you can have files that are clean, and then if a Trojan worm gets on your system, gets on your drive, and it crawls around looking for vulnerable files, it could get in one. I've seen it happen before, but I wasn't catching on, and I finally realized, okay, these things were, I scanned them with more than one scanner, and they were definitely had some, Trojans in them or something. And this is not, if it was a Trojan, it would say that, though. It just says heuristics broken executable. So, but those aren't, those are Linux and not Windows, so they're not broken. I'm sure of that. Pretty sure of that. Okay, here's one, total commander execute. It says broken executable. Now that might be broken. It might be infected, even though it wasn't when I downloaded it. And another one, Windows installer, Dawn1 drive, C, Windows installer, EA2M. That's probably was a Windows update or something. Now the Dell 1525 laptop backups. Well, that's what all those are. That thing was, and the Windows side of that was infected. So I'll probably delete all those just to be safe. That's what I'm going to do, is be safe. Because, any of this stuff, you don't really, for instance, the Sardu for Linux didn't even work right anyway, so there's no point keeping it. RM Prep USB is a good app, and it did work right, but I can always download it again. All this stuff, you can, most everything you can get again anyway. Now your system files and stuff like that, you think twice before getting rid of them, of any kind of, especially if like it's one file out of, say, easy to boot or whatever, something like that. What's this one? Still says, heuristics, that's a heuristic scan is what it is. Encrypted PDF. This one is from Mom's backups, inbox. Well, I don't think I would keep that one, because if it's in the email, see, I don't know. where it came from. So it doesn't say the name of the file, it just says inbox. And then there's one PDF with just numbers for a name. I might go ahead and get rid of that one. Now this one is income tax 2005. Well, those are encrypted. That's the way they give them to you. And you have to, in order to open them, let's see, you used to, I don't know, the only thing that would open them was the real Adobe Reader, the proprietary software. Now, I think maybe I found one that runs on Linux. Well, Adobe will run on Linux, but I found one that will open them since then. But those I wouldn't get rid of. I know those, I know unless there is a slim chance they could have got infected like I was talking about, but probably not. Especially since she's been using Linux for years now, and yeah, since before 2005. Oh wait, 2005? I don't know if I got her on Linux. That was when I got on Linux. They could have came from Windows, but those are important things. So they're not saying Trojan or anything like that, or worm or anything. It's just saying encrypted PDF, and I know those always are encrypted from TurboTax. You know, that's where that should have been from, I think. So and then there's some more stuff from the easy to boot, encrypted. I'm just showing, these are just what's come up so far. It's probably, I don't know how long it'll be, if it'll finish tonight or 2 days from now. I really don't know. Now here's one that's very much hard to decide on. Maybe not. Let's see. It says it is pdf.exploit.talos can so-and-so, so-and-so, some numbers. Now that, anything that says exploit, I'm worried about. But it is, oh yeah, it's it was downloaded from the tarrantcounty.com tax office, a PDF. So did it come that way? Did it get infected? I think I might do a little research and see what PDF exploit Talos is, you know, what it's considered to be. And there is something built in to do that in ClamAV virus browser right up there. But I don't use it anymore because when you click on it, it uses so much resources, it'll freeze up your machine. And I even, my quad core, it would freeze it up every time I clicked on it. And you just I couldn't use it. So I'm not going to try it in here in a live system, and something this important, I won't do it. I was just thinking, how am I going to, you can't right click and copy or do anything. Now when it's done, I might be able to right click and copy that line, you know, the name of that file. Not sure. So I'll wait till I'm done to try to do anything with it. Just going to let it run, and this time I'm clicking off in the other desktop. Well, the other Bitdefender didn't have more than one desktop, and I could have minimized it, but I thought, well, I want to be able to see it but I just turn it on the monitor. But I'm clicking off of that desktop so that there's no chance that I can accidentally be on there and forget I'm on there and click, you know, or a slip of the mouse click or whatever, or a keyboard, you know, accidentally punched. You know, here's the thing. Like I usually click up in the window somewhere, because if you're highlighted up here close to where the stop, you know, in the area where the stop button is, and you accidentally hit enter, or you accidentally just hit the left click, most likely in the left, not the right click, you may stop your program. I've done it enough times in my computing life, so I get off of it when it's something that's going to run a long time and I don't want to. That's one thing I like about having multiple workspaces, or I still call them desktops. They call it workspaces. Multiple workspaces let you do things like that. You know, you got something important running, and you can just get out of there and go over here to something else. So yeah, here's my video, my backup video. I'm glad I had my backup video today. The one that I added more to the name right there, that's the one I uploaded. I haven't renamed, you know, and done all my work on the files yet, but I went ahead and uploaded that one and put it in the playlist. Okay, but I did get my, I think I'll do something like equal or something. Let's see. We'll go to pictures, like I was saying, so that I can't accidentally mess something up. Screenshots. Did I take screenshots that? Oh, I took screenshots of all that. Yeah, and I just showed all that. Okay, I knew I took some. So I copied some files that I thought I would need, and I reorganized them and stuff once I got them. They had, you're in a hurry when you're using that live, easy to boot thing, and I just don't make folders sometimes and do all that. So anyway, I tried to put them all in a folder that they should belong in, and then I just backed them all up right there. That was how many was just in the main documents folder. I was afraid I'd lose them, I found that I had some things that I didn't realize I had on there. Good stuff, Let's see, DNF install scripts. Oh yeah, that's what I was doing. Okay, but right now, okay, Fedora 28. I've got a Fedora 28 info folder. I think I've still got some cleaning to do here. Downloads, yeah. See, I've got some that I need to move over. Okay, Fedora 28, Lenovo 5 info, right? And then Fedora 28 info in general. Okay, I want to keep those two. 25 useful command examples. Yeah, that was when I was trying to find commands. Okay, I want to move those over there. Whenever my backup runs every day, I think, okay, now that's going to be a duplicate after duplicate, but I just let it do it because it's too much trouble to go back and move them around. Once in a while, I'll straighten them out on the. So hidden DNF groups. That's what I've been working with. This is the information to tell me how to do it. The Fedora installer improvements. That's what I was talking about when I was doing the install. Okay, so I had to save that. Now then, DNF install scripts. Yeah. Okay, that's the only other thing that's got DNF now. Okay. It looks like since I copied some of these, they got today's date. Theta's Fedora 27 Theta DNF. Of course, it was 06/28/18. I don't know why the date. Copying it from the USB backup to, well, it's NTFS, and then to the SD card, and then back to here, it changed the date on it. Let's just go by name. Normally, going by the date's a good way to do it, but there's one of my scripts. DNF list apps Fedora 23, but it's a script. It's a .sh. And here's some more. We'll just see the ones that are text files. They haven't been made into a script. And here's another one. Don's install script. And then apps script. 24 things to do. That's where I made a script out of an article. That wouldn't be new enough to use now, but I'll show it in a second here. I think I'm just looking through them first. App spins groups Don's install script. Okay, now that's what I'm going to be making. What I'm making a new one of. And 26. What I'm sitting here wondering is, where is the one I was just working on yesterday? Fedora 26 ASRock installed apps 27. And then Fedora Linux apps Don's install script for mom's PC. I ran that on that Fedora 27. Network servers text. What is that? I don't think that's where I wanted that. Oh, it is something about. Oh, it's network servers. Okay. Right. I guess I was using that group. Yeah, I was using the group finds in order to find that out. Right. How cool. Okay. And then terminal output, Wi-Fi, DNF list, temp. So now let's go by the date, so maybe it'll help me find the one I'm looking for. I wonder if I just don't have it in this folder. Well, if I deleted it through all my work, I'd be really upset. I think maybe it's just in, it's in a different folder. Fedora 28, Lenovo i5 info, I think it may be in there. Commands to install DNF. To DNF install OBS Studio, okay. DNF update command, DNF update command, DNF group list. I think this is it. And yeah, with the commented out. Okay, that's the one I've been working on. All right, this is what I'm looking for. That's nice. See, they need to be over there. Now, DNF update. So I use that, my folder, this like Fedora 28 Lenovo i5 info. I put like info on Fedora 28 in the Lenovo i5, whatever's, you know, just information. And then the yeah, okay, so with, yeah, okay, so this one I want to open up, put it on the left of the file manager there. So I already commented out everything. I used LibreOffice in the previous video, or not today's, but yesterday's video. Yeah, not this morning's video. I've messed around until I figured out how to, and I found the group install command. Now let's see. And I already have, and I have these scripts here that, let's go by extension now. Okay, DNF apps, Fedora 23 Lenovo i5, Fedora 23, DonsInstall script. Well, let's open this one and see what it, okay, now this one is done the way I always used to do it. Now those spaces may mean I need to work on it some more. There may be returns in there. That's what it looks like. They're just each. Now what I did is I made, see, here's the part that makes it a script right here. And that's all you need to do is just copy that. Bin bash init dnf y install skip broken. You see how you can put y, dash y in front of it. I'm going to copy that. This one is from the Lenovo i5. It's one I made from the Lenovo i5. And see, I'm not really going to want to do that. It looks like it may, if you, let's see, view, depends on what viewer you're in. I'm in Puma. Well, it doesn't even say turn off text wrap. You need one where you can turn off wrap. Oh, it's got a highlight mode. That's kind of cool. That's the number one thing in doing this, because with the wrap on, you can't see if it's, now when you get so many, you get more lines in the well, with kwrite, it'll say that's more lines than it can really handle, but do you want to turn, go ahead and do it anyway, just this time, you know, and you can do it. Anyways, yeah, here that looks like I've got a return and a space. So what I would need to do is delete the return and just have a space in there. Actually, this one could be good to help you clean one up. And because that return will break your script and it won't run. Yeah, there's a bunch of them. I'm not going to edit that right now, though. Close without saving. You got to pay attention. Sometimes you don't know till you run it, and you'll say, wait a minute, that's not all I had in there, you know. But Linux, let's see. Okay, now here's the other one. Okay, now here's one that just has a few. Oh, these are the ones I just put in there. See, I was just trying to get a hand-typed one, you know. And that has a few, which might be good to get me started, or might be good to use on moms or something. Actually, I made one for moms. I think I saw that in there. Now here's one. Let's see, apps and spins. Now this is the older version of, okay, what I'm trying to build here. And see, that part right there is the same. DNF, Y install, skip broken. I know that one works, so I'll copy that one. I don't think there's any differences. But now see, I have a few hand typed up in the top. And well, skip broken has 2 dashes in front of it. I wonder which one is right. One of them was different. Move this one to the right. That other one, where's the other one? This one here? Not that one. I think it was this one. Oh, it stayed where I was at. Yeah, there's 2 dashes in front of skip broken. Okay. And let's see. Okay, so let's go back to this one. So here's what I'm aiming at. Okay, see, DNF, group install, and then you put whatever group you want, group name, into quotation marks all around it. And you know what? I don't think at the time, I thought that Y install would take care of all the rest below, but I don't know if it does. I might have to put Y install. Now the example that I found, it has it like this. The Y is after it. I really would think it should be in front of it, but I don't know. It'd be a lot of editing to get it wrong. So what I thought is I would try running this one, do like this, turn it into a script. Now there's something that I may have to fix. I'm not sure. The space is there. So that just went away when I just hit enter. And it may not hurt a thing. It's not tabs. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. I would prefer them not to have any. It'd be like that. And of course, you could just manually do that, but boy, that'd take forever. So you can do it in LibreOffice somehow. I'm pretty sure. Or actually, you might be able to do it in KWrite easier. You could probably say remove and replace. Well, in either one, you could probably say search and remove and replace, and like everywhere there's 4 spaces, like 1, 2, 3, 4, have it replace them. Of course, it might take what's in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. It'd take those out, but that won't hurt a thing. That'd be fine. So you might be able to do that. And then if you didn't like having a space there, you could say, with everything after the comment, the number sign is going to be ignored. So it doesn't matter if there's a space there, and it makes it look neater with. I like it the way it is. It makes it easy to read. You can tell what's a header and what's under that header. I like that. So I wouldn't change that. So I don't know how I would do that really. I'm going to do it. I'm going to leave it like that and see if it'll work. Save that. So now it's a script. And really, it's a good idea to put in a DNF update, at least at the end if you don't do it at the beginning. It's really kind of a good idea to do. They recommend people when they tell you how to do these things, they say, do your updates first and then run your script, your install scripts and stuff. Well, the scripts I'm talking about is the ones, well, generally they're not in scripts, they're commands and telling you how to install things in these articles and stuff. So I got to where I do that, I put, on the first line, I put DNF update. And that's easy. So you just have to wait for it to run, Actually, I just remembered, you don't want to put it there because I think that'll mess up your, and I'm going to leave that space out of there. Oh. Yeah. No matter what you do, that space doesn't go away. Huh. This editor may not be ideal for this. Okay, here's where I think I had it done in one of my. Let me look through some more of them because I think I figured out what works in one of my other ones. And let's go back to the one I've been using. This one works. It doesn't have DNF update in it, but it works. So this works like it is. I don't see they're all over to the left. They don't have anything in front of them. And that was just something that happened automatically, and I didn't realize it. This one doesn't have all the extra stuff in it like the one that I made yesterday. But I did I was copying and pasting things from like below to up above and stuff, and it really got it. I ended up with duplicates because I got myself confused. But see, this is right here. These are the things that I wanted last time, and I probably will again. Audio production, sound, all these things, pretty much all of that, yeah. And then see all this other stuff I left commented out. Okay. And you can see like, okay, the Mate desktop is going to be installed. Actually, you can leave that in there, and even though you already have Mate desktop, and if there's any like extras in the group that you might want, it'll just put them in there. And it'll ignore the ones that'll say already there and up to date or already there and updated, and then KDE, Plasma Workspaces. I don't think I want that on this time. Still haven't decided. I want 2 desktops because if one gets broken, you can get into the other one to fix things. I hardly ever have to do it, but it's really a lifesaver when you have at least 2 desktops installed. But having XFCE and Mate don't try to compete with each other for startup too much. Well, the screensavers, you'll get in it with two screensavers you got to turn off or set the way you want them. And actually, the XFCE screensaver is old and it won't run right in Fedora. It always just says it can't start it, and so then if you turn it off, then it'll quit giving you that error saying it can't start it. But some things in most things in KDE don't compete with Mate because they're so different. Some things do, like keyring, like Genome Keyring and KDE Wallet. They both will pop up and want to do your passwords for you, and so well that happens even when you just like KRFB, the remote desktop app. That's what the default that works with it. So it installs what's needed to do that when you install it, and so then it keeps popping up. So either way, you're going to have a little bit of that. It's just the main thing is you don't want a bunch of startup stuff that's using up too many resources and competing to control things. And you really will have that trouble if you have Genome 3 and Mate in both installed. So I don't install Genome. I don't like Genome 3 anyway, so I don't install it at all. I used to install it just thinking I might mess with it once in a while, but I don't do that. And I thought I might get some extra features from it, but I never noticed any. I just noticed trouble. So if you like Genome 3, then I wouldn't install Mate alongside of it unless you want to go through there and fiddle with everything. Authoring, publishing, all this stuff. So yeah, this is, other than being a bit out of order, I think it's out of order, that virtualization applications. I found some other stuff. I don't know. This one is working, and see, and it has a bunch of my favorite apps already in it. Now see, I can just copy this into the top of, doesn't have them all though. But it does have a bunch of them. Okay, so yeah, that's very valuable stuff there. That to Workspace 3, so it'll be over there with that one. Those two we'll see. Okay, now, I'm still wondering, I'm just going to open these up, see if there's any slight differences. Yeah, here we go. What's this one? Things to do. Okay, this was an actual article, and I saved that page, and then I don't remember. I mean, if you try to convert an HTML into text by saving it as text, sometimes you get a lot of that won't work. You'll get a lot of extraneous. You get all the actual HTML code, and you won't be able to do a thing with it. But if you just copy it, paste it into a text editor or in LibreOffice and then save it as a text file, I think that'll work just fine. Yeah, I don't know, because it will edit HTML. It might not work. I can't remember how I did it. I think I might have had to put it in KWrite and then save it as a text file. Then all you get is the text. So, see, I have, okay, there it is. Right after inet, I put DNF update. And these, now here's one of the keys. So when you're doing it this way, and you just do them one right after another instead of on separate lines. Up there at the top, if you can't see my cursor, you put one space in between them. Okay, so that only goes that far. Yeah, there's no left and right. So that's all that's in there. It's not that many, but they need to be all on one line. So you don't want to return in there is what I'm saying. It'll break your script and it will stop installing at that return. So I'm going to get away from that. I'm going to start putting them all on separate lines. I just didn't want to go back and redo that because all my old scripts were all just a space after each one and all on one. But you get in trouble when it finally gets so many apps. Do I have one open like that? No, I had it open a while ago where it had so many. I was showing you where I found several returns in that one. So I'm going to start doing them if I can figure out an easy way to do it. I think what you can do is like get it in LibreOffice, this section right here, and say replace the space with a return. But then you'd have to go back and put in the comment outs, like I did. Still got to figure out how I made those go. I got a feeling I'm going to need that. We'll see. I'll try running. I'm just going to do a few changes to this one, whichever one it is. Not this one here that I'm just making, like just add a couple of things and then run it. So it won't take very long, and see what it does, and see if it's going to error out or what, and then go from there. But this was an article, and so I just went through this thing, and I commented everything out. I don't remember how I did it. I think I actually manually did it. Now I see one missing right there. Right there. Looks like that should be there. I don't know. I think that would be a problem. I'm pretty sure. If you see in any program or script or anything, you'll see how they did that. They call it commenting it out. That just tells the program to ignore it. But now that one there is one that's going to run. That's going to install Chrome. See, I don't want to run this one anymore, but since I saw that, I'll do it. Go ahead and try to fix that. I might change my mind. I don't want to run this one anymore because it's well, it's calling out specific versions, and they're outdated now. This was from, well, I set it up for Fedora 23. Now I don't remember what version it was. It might have been written for. Now this was written for Fedora 21, but I updated everything. I don't know if I went and found all the right information. That would have been hard. Well, actually, no. Yeah, to do our RPM Fusion, that's one of the first things you want is RPM Fusion. You want to do that right up close to the top. I already have RPM Fusion on this system because I got it when I installed OBS Studio. And those commands are perfect. They get the newest version. They don't call out the version number, I don't think. So those are the ones I want, and I've got those. So that reminds me. I don't even want them that far down in the list. I'm gonna put them like, I'll probably put them right after. Yeah, do DNF update, install RPM Fusion, and then everything you want will be available, right? Because if you do RPM Fusion after some of your apps, they may be from RPM Fusion repos. So, yeah, I don't want Chrome. I want Chromium anyway. So So anyway, this is helping me remember how to do this. It's going to be a bigger deal than I remembered to start a new one. But, and it really, this turned into be, what I would do is like one system I would want certain desktops or apps or groups of apps, and then next time I wouldn't. And so, and they're kind of all spread out. See, they were telling you, oh, this is this app, and it does this and that. And so this is how you install it. So, it's hard to find what you want and don't want to change it. I mean, if you just use it as it was, here's the old way they installed, and I think this may still work. Well, I've tried it, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but DNF install, ampersand made desktop. But the other way that I was showing in the last couple of days, this way here, DNF group install, that's the new way. I'm sure of that. And that -Y for yes to everything, so it doesn't stop and ask you, or else you got to sit and babysit that script. And if your script's going to run for an hour or two, you don't want to have to answer every one of them. So that why, I don't know. That's the way they showed in that example of how to do it. I still think that you should be able to put the DNF Y group install. Actually, having it up here at the top, right here just like that, I wonder if that'll make it work. I may take that Y off and see what happens, because to me that should make it work. So right after init, I'm going to put DNF update, and then after update I'm going to put my install RPM Fusion, and then I'll uncomment the ones I want to run out of here. Okay, very good. But I don't want the commands out of here. So yeah, I'm not so sure that that way of doing it still works. I thought it had completely quit working, and then I tried it again, and it worked one time, so I don't know. This is all the way back from Fedora 21 up to 23 that I'm talking about now. But see, there's all kinds of things in here, but I think most of this stuff for specific apps, VirtualBox, GIMP, all that stuff, I think most of them are in my little lists, and I will have to add my little list to it somehow. But this turns into be too hard to decipher, for me. It was pretty cool at the time, but going back and using it again. Okay, now here's one. This document is already open in another window. Oh, okay. Which one is it? Don's group install scripts. Okay. I thought it was going to be something else. That must be it right there. Don's group install script. Okay, this is the, yeah, my latest finished one. And it has quite a few things that are from my favorite apps. It's still not all of them that are in there. Some of them may get installed, and even if these are duplicates of what's in the groups, it won't hurt. It will go ahead and install them first if you have it up here at the top like that. You could put this on down at the bottom, but I just liked it that way. Easy to go right to it and edit it, you know, without having to kind of figure out where everything is. But I like I said, I want to get away from doing it that way. And like I said, and you see how it's word wrapped. I think that it's, see, with some of these apps, some of these text viewers can show it word wrapped, but it is really not word wrapped. That's really one line, and so it can get confusing. This has got some real cool features. Oh, look at that. And when I open it up, it knows it's a script. So the script SH, see? What is this I'm in? This is Pluma. This is more than just a plain old text editor. That is pretty cool, and it might actually be something I need to pay more attention to, because it might be it might actually help me get my SH script straightened out and working good. You know, it might. I wonder if it has any auto check spelling, language. No, doesn't have anything like check for errors in the script or anything. I should probably edit my script in one of those IDE. Well, I don't have them on here now. Edit my scripts in IDE apps, and then I could say check for errors, and it would check for errors. You can build. I just now remembered. You can. There's IDEs you can make an SH script in. Why didn't I do that all along? I learned to do it in a text editor. So now what's this? For Mom's PC. Okay, now the ones for Mom's PC. See, this is a real basic one. This is what I was talking about. DNF update, DNF install, RPM Fusion, and you see it just says free and non-free. Okay, this is the one I'm looking for. Doesn't say the actual versions. It'll just get the newest one. That's the way to do it. And see, they're in the right order. And then DNF install, skip broken, cheese, so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. Now, I made major pains to not have these duplicated, but these are for Mom, and I think there's probably some in mine, other one, that bash, DNF update, DNFY install, skip broken. I'm thinking I might want to, well, no, I don't know if I want to copy that in there or not. So, and the rest of these are lists that haven't been made into scripts yet. So, I always like it better when they're in separate. Let's see, where am I going to put these? Okay, I'm going to move this one to 6. And this one, whoops, 5. Now maybe I'll be able to, now I can just click instead of trying to raise and lower them and all that stuff. Okay, so this one here I did put NFY install skip broken in there. Yeah, this may be, it could be the same or it could be different, you know, different. It's hard for me to tell. Can't. Even if I sat there and poured over it, I wouldn't be able to remember as long as it took me to look at them. And sometimes I end up with duplicates in there over and over because I copied and pasted them from other scripts or other lists or whatever. It's going to be hard to figure that part out. But what it won't be hard to figure out is, I think that's going to be, yeah, okay. I'm going to copy that all. Wait a minute. Do I want all those separate names? See, if I'm wanting to try and fix these into... If you're not doing very many, it really doesn't matter. Let me see. I know this one worked. I know this one worked because I used it most recently. This is the new layout that I want. And I don't know. I guess I'm trying to work too hard at... yeah. Let's do this. I keep changing my mind. Okay, so I'm going to delete that and do it that way. Now that DNF update there, I'm going to go ahead and yeah, I'm going to cut that and put it. I think I will go ahead and I'm probably putting spaces in there that are just going to give me a headache here. I think you can leave a space without a comment out, but I'm not going to do it just in case. Okay, so it's much longer than I thought. Oh yeah, I should probably go through there and make sure I'm not missing any comment out. So I don't think I was. There's the one that I took out because I wanted to install XFCE desktop. I was going to say maybe that's not the first thing I should try, but and the Y that I was thinking about taking out. Let's just go through, even though it takes a while, and see if there's any missing comment outs. Let's see. I hear my preview playing, preview machine making noise there. So I'll pause it so it can rest. Let's go look at the virus scan right quick too. I don't think it's making any extra noise. I think it's just that laptop. Yeah, it's still just working away. It hasn't found anything new. Well, actually, it could. When you organize it by the name of problem found, like I always do, then it puts them up here. You know, it doesn't put them below that. I guess if I wouldn't click on that, you know, change it. I don't know what this. I mean, there's only status, name of problem, and name of file. So I don't know. Maybe it really never does actually drop them at the bottom, no matter what. But anyway, nothing new here. Just see. And let's see. Okay, now. Yeah, there's going to be plenty of this that I want to install, and a lot of this is, it may end up being too much reading for me again. That's why that other one was shorter. I think I kind of tried to edit it down and make it shorter and easier to find things. Because, you know, I ran the other day on my video, I ran all these commands, like check and see what's in this group and all that stuff. So, like, I think that's might be one right there. DNF group info workstation product environment. So I was following that article with all the instructions. So it tells you what is in the group. Mandatory for that group is all these. And then optional groups. Oh, okay. Optional groups, ARM tools. Oh, okay. Group info, yeah, okay. Group info, LibreOffice. I did LibreOffice development, and then it said, well, it shows you what's in LibreOffice, and then it says it looked at development as another group, and it says no such group right there. What if I would have put that in quotation marks? I think it would have just ran it, or just put in LibreOffice and XFCE. So I tried it that way. Or did I? Anyway, right now I'm just checking for my comments. So none of these will be run. None of these will be installed or anything. And of course, I would never want them all. If you hit home, it doesn't go back to the top. But that's the way I want it right now. Oh, there is what I do want, though, right there. DNF update. And I'm just going to leave it all the way over there to the left. That'll be real quick to see that that's the end of that. Okay. That'll be the last thing I want to do when it's finished, is to update everything. Update first, like they always recommend, and then DNF install, RPM Fusion and all that. Of course, you don't want to keep running updates over and over. It makes your script take too long. I mean, you could run it again right there. But now here's my DNF-Y install. Now I know that DNF-Y install will apply to all these in this row here. And I don't even have kwrite install. Where is that? K-rename? Yeah, I was missing that already. I don't want to run it like with those in there because that's some stuff I've been needing. Samba, Crusader. I already have Crusader, but that won't hurt. Thunderbird's already in there. Very secure FTPD. Do I want that? Well, I don't have to turn it on, but do I want it? I used to always run an FTP server on my system so that I could network between them. And if you use SSH, you know, FTP, then of course it's secure and all that stuff. But on your local network, it's not really. I'm not worried about it. But I am worried about people getting in, though. You know. But anyway, it will. One thing I really liked about it is it would keep the file dates. And if you just do straight FTP, it changes your file dates to the day that you transferred them. And it really confuses your file management like crazy. Kate, well, that's already on here too. I didn't even see kwrite in the list. Let's see. Now that was from my list, wasn't it? That was from which one? That was from this one here. That was Don's install script for Mom's PC. Oh, okay. So that's probably why it seems pretty like it's missing things. Okay. And that's actually all I did on her Fedora 27 so far. I was fixing to build her a new group install script, and I was trying to decide what to put in it and everything. Now, okay, in live, yeah, all that stuff. Now, see, if I put these in here, they're going to be duplicate after duplicate. I'm trying to think, how can I do this and not duplicate them? K-rename, Ocala, yeah. I think maybe what I might want to do is take those. I've gone through this manually so many times clearing those out. I wonder, there's lots of ways. Oh, well, there's I don't guess I have any on here, but there are programs that will do that for you. Compare text files, or just compare one file and find the duplicates. I think what I need is a new file. And I just want those in there. And then, where's the rest? Okay, now that opened up in the same deal. And then, oops, I'm going to try this. I'm going to cut those out of there. Put them in here. I'll just do them like that. Now, Don's favorite apps install list. I'm just going to do it like that. Whoops. I'm starting to get hungry again, like I'm going to have supper. Now, there's a couple of things I want to try and do to it. I may have to do it in, yeah, you can't do it in here. think I'm going to have to use, wondering, do I want to go ahead? I'm going to close this one now. I don't need anything else out of there. This one here, I don't need anything out of it either. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and open up LibreOffice and see if I can do what I want to do to this. I don't think there's any, see, I don't have any of the file compare. That's the thing, there's so many cool apps that the only way I'm going to find them again is to just either use one of my old installed scripts from my systems or make a new one from this last system, but then I get a bunch of stuff that's I don't want. And sometimes that even slows down your system. So I'm trying to avoid that, but it ends up being so much work. There's what I was able to put together of what I know I want. You just saw it. And most of these are duplicates. Now that's how I managed to using this stuff over here is how I managed to get rid of okay, now here's what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to try to do. That's how I managed to get add in all those comment outs. Okay, so I'm going to do edit, find and replace. Okay, now I need to do regular expressions. So I believe if I remember right, number sign will find, oh no, I don't want to find. In this case, I'm going to do the opposite of what I usually do. I'm going to find spaces, and I'm going to replace them with the number sign, not the number sign, the dollar sign, which will replace them. I'm always trying to get rid of the returns, so this time I want the returns because I'm going to try to build this different this time. I don't know, unless that makes me have to, that may make me have to put DNF install in front of every one of them. Now, I don't want that. You know what? That's what I think is going to happen. Because with these groups, you have to have, I already tried it, you have to have group install in front of it. So I don't want to have to put DNF install, DNFY install in front of every one of those. Now I'm thinking that's probably not. Well, I've seen it work in other, like your Kickstart file. Let's see. Let me see if I can find the Kickstart file for this system. Oh, name contains .ks. And I'll just leave it like that because I don't think I even need to put a wildcard in front of there. Now, I don't know if it's in, it may not be in the home directory, but let's look and see. This is really a pretty fast searcher. I already looked. Let's try with the wildcard in there. It may be somewhere else. It used to be in your home directory, your Kickstart file that your system was built from. Let's try that, the whole system. I think .ks is it. I think I just found it. There we go. I might want to copy those to somewhere. Okay, interactive defaults, KS Anaconda postscripts. I think I'm just going to have to open them, but let's just start opening them. No viewer that can open them. Okay, now I can't say right click open with. Let's try this one. Well, I can't do it. At least that shows me where they're at, so I'll do a screenshot. So these KS files, they're install scripts is what they are. And if I had, I guess, KWrite or something, I could open them up. Can I open the directory? Yeah, open the folder. I'll just do it that way, and it'll do it in there. But okay, here, that's all of them. Okay, so I don't have to copy them anywhere. That's where they belong. Okay, so user share Anaconda. I want to get out of that one there. Let's go to user share Anaconda. User, oh, I'm not all the way back to, now I'm stuck in that right there. Okay, I meant to go there. And user share Anaconda, here we go now. There's the defaults. I guess the rest of them were, I don't remember where they were. I guess they weren't right there in that folder. They may be up in here somewhere, but I just wanted to see one for an example. See if we can view it in here. Ah, there we go. So that built-in viewer works. So here's a kick. This is just some basic defaults. I mean, the full kick. I tried to learn to build me a Kickstart file to make my own remix, and the thing is every little error hangs it up. It's really hard to do, but for me. So, and this is, but it's kind of laid out what I'm trying to do with my script. See there, everything's on another line, and each thing. See, this is not installs. This is system settings and stuff. And let's see. Let's do this. Search .ks. See if there's some more of them in there. Good. It didn't go default to case sensitive. Good. Maybe they finally fixed that. Okay, here they are. So they are in there. It's just finding them. Okay. Feed to list box. Store.ks in USR SHARE. You can't use forward slashes in the names. It won't work. Okay, so now here they are. Now I can open them. Copy screenshots, copy logo, site. Okay, I don't think none of these are going to be the install. And the Kickstart files for installing the apps. It doesn't look like. And see, these are all comments. Restore icon, this is a command. Also relabel, restore. Oh, that's SE Linux relabeling. Okay. I want to be careful not to break any of these or anything. Because these are, I'm able to open them. See, they're in user share, so I can't open them. Let's just view them and see what's in them. And kind of screenshots, and then do make dear. I think it's I don't know what that is. It's taking a screenshot, it looks like. Now what's this one? This is a script that will not be copied to the installed system. See, most of the well, it's here. I don't know. I didn't search the whole, if I searched the whole thing for, well, I did with that other one. So I guess that's all the case. Well, you know what? I think the actual Kickstart file doesn't have .ks on the end of it. Now that I think about it, I think it's called Kickstart with no file extension. The actual one the one I'm really wanting to show. It's not right here though. Home, okay. Search. Kickstart. I think maybe it's just called Kickstart, and I won't put any file extension or anything. Shouldn't take too long since I have a brand new system here. And I'm just in Home Dawn. I'm not in, it just says Home up there. That's weird. Okay, I'll let it run. Maybe it'll come up with that Kickstart file. It might be in one of, I don't know, there's not very many. It may be, not in the same place. It used to be, I think it used to be just in your home directory. But anyway, well, let's just show what would happen. Let's say, find next. Okay, see, there they are. Now replace. Oh, it didn't do it. Didn't work right. It just put that in there. I might not have it set right, but I put regular expressions. Let's see. Formats. No. Well, it doesn't matter now because I'm not trying to do it. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong here. But maybe it doesn't work right when you're doing it opposite of the way that I usually do it. What I usually do is say, I think I'll have to, let's say I have, okay, I can do it. I'll find a return right there. Get rid of that space in there, put the $sign up there, and I'll say replace it with a space. That's what I'm usually doing. Okay, find next. There it is. See it? Found it. Now replace. Now you can't say replace all, but let's just do find next, replace. Now, see? You could say replace all. Well, there's nothing left. There's no more of them. I don't know why it left extra space. Oh, I think always then I have to go back and say, how many spaces are in there? 1, 2, 3. So find 3 spaces and replace it with 1. And then if you have 2 spaces, then go find 2 spaces, replace it with 1. That's how, yeah, it works that way, but not the other way. I don't know. It's not what I wanted to do anyway. So I'm just going to hit, undo until it's all back like it was. So yeah, I don't want to try to put it all on one line now, but save it like it is. I don't think you can find duplicate words in this. You could if you just typed each word in one at a time, but I'm not doing that because there's tools that can do that for you. I might be able to look through there and find them. I was thinking if I put them all on one line, I might be able to see it. And that right there, I can't see it well enough to even try. Those are red squiggly lines. I can't even hardly read that text with it like that. I can do it in the regular text editor, but what's compare? I don't remember the name of the apps, and I'd have them. It's bad whenever you reformat the one system that has everything you want on it. Well, actually, you know what? My old Fedora 14 system still has all of those tools in it. I could boot that thing up, especially since this is just a text file, and do it in there. That may be what I ought to do, and use that compare. I think one of them might be called compare, but I can use one of those apps to find the duplicate words and just go down to one word. Generally, I always use it to merge 2 or 3 files together and do that kind of thing. But you can do it in one file from what I remember. So I think I'll stop working on that right now. I'm getting really hungry. I'm going to have to stop and eat supper is what I'm going to have to do. So I'm not going to start up a new thing like that right now. And it's already almost 4, so since I got up at 3:45 this morning and went to work just as quick as I could, at 6, started working at 6. I'm thinking I'm probably going to eat supper, and I'm just going to, I almost didn't get back on. I almost didn't start working again. I was getting so tired after lunch, but it's probably because of lunch. Probably my lunch. I waited too long to eat lunch, and well, I ate something that I eat a lot, but it's a Chinese TV dinner, so it's got it's a little bit sweet, a little bit too much sugar in it probably compared to the other TV dinners I eat. So it made me pretty sleepy for a while there. That, and I had to take a cold pill because of my allergies and all that. So anyway, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to what am I wanting to? Yeah, I don't want to. I could try that just like it is and see if it runs. I think I'll take that space out of there right now and see if that would run like that. Yeah. And I'm going to take that Y out of there and see if, this one up here will make that work as with a Y to everything. You can't just say, I don't think that's going to work. I'd rather install something a little less involved than that whole desktop. That'll take a little while. Well, everything is groups. This is all groups. So I was thinking I would do that before I go right now, but no, I'm really going to have to go eat. This probably won't take a long time, but it's going to be 10 to 20 minutes, I think. By the time I'm really and truly done figuring all this out. So RPM Fusion's already on there, so it won't actually install that. Well, it'll go through the updates, and they're actually, no, there's not any. I already installed them I installed them earlier before I got back on the video. Yeah, I did. I think some came up and I went ahead and just got in the terminal and said DNF update. And so it'll go through these. But see, that right there is actually for all these over here. I'm thinking maybe I want to put them back in there, and it doesn't matter if they're duplicates. But it will slow it down. It won't make it not work. I think I'm going to put them in there, and then I'm going to put them in there. And even though there's duplicates, and of course I can always try to manually fish some of them out of there. But my plan will be to, I really don't, well, it did cool off a little bit. I turned on the fan today. I put it over by the door to try to suck in some of that cool air from out in the rest of the house into here. I think it's helping because it was 78.8 in here, now it's 78.1. I was starting to feel it, the warmth, getting hot. So now I'm comfortable. I'm okay, even though, I've got all these machines running, 4 of them. Yeah, and that would be 5. And that machine makes a lot of noise and a lot of heat. So I don't want to, if I do run it, I don't want to run it any longer than I have to. I think it makes more heat than that 8-core. I really think it does because I've had them on back and forth, one at a time lately. And the last time I had that one on, the noise drove me nuts, but the fan, I need to try to replace that CPU. The CPU fan that came with that processor is just horribly loud, and it was a Gateway, dual core Intel, and it got hit by lightning. And I saved the part. The processor was okay. The motherboard was bad. I got a new motherboard for it, and so anyway. And I guess, what did I do? I guess I set up another machine for the people or something. Or maybe, no, I remember I kept their old machine. I think they just decided to buy a new machine. So they just let me have their new machine, and I didn't charge them much for figuring out what was wrong with the machine. Or I guess, I think I might have charged them $30 or something. Well, most big companies charge you $100 just to say hello, how you doing? So that's pretty cheap. So they'll charge you $100, or it's probably more than that now. The last time I heard is $100. Go take one to Staples and have them do one virus scan. One virus scan will do 1/4 of what infections you got in your machine. I'll guarantee you. You better do 5, really, with different scanners. And then if it's still ain't clean, keep going until it's clean. If it doesn't come up with 0 reports, and well, of course, like I've been showing, there's some things you can ignore if you know whether or not you can. But anything that's really sure enough says, Trojan or whatever, some sort of virus malware, then you better get it out of there. And I don't care how good you think your scanner is. You go ahead and try a different brand, and you'll see it'll find something else. Because it's impossible for all these companies to stay on top of how fast this stuff comes out and how many variations there are on it and everything. So anyway, but I do have tools in that machine I can use. And that would be the best way to get rid of all the duplicates in there. There's not too many. I suppose if I was focused and not tired and hungry, I might be able to do it manually. Just a few like that. But yeah, that's what I could do. Actually, I could, that would give me 2 things to check on if I ran it with this in there and go ahead and do the XFCE. I can't think of anything else that'd be any. XFCE desktop's lightweight and really not a lot of files, so it's probably be a lighter weight than most of the other stuff that's in there in the group, since everything else is a group. And I don't think I can take that Y out of there. I think I will. So I'm going to put it back. I think that Y, I still think it might be in the wrong. It could, sometimes you get those examples and they're actually not right, because I think it probably should be DNF Y group install, not the whole command and then Y afterwards. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it'll work either way. I'm going to try it the way I think I want it because here's the thing. DNFY install, I know that works. DNFY group install should work. And see, now if I do it that way, then every time I want to make my next one into an install section, then all I have to do is copy that. Just copy that. And put it down here in front of one of them. Whatever it might be, LibreOffice, I already have it, but whatever. And administrative tools, I'll be wanting that. And then put administrative tools in quotation marks. But I'm not going to do it right now because I don't want to end up forgetting. Oh, that's the print command. It's already saved. Okay. So hopefully I'll remember if it doesn't work right. Hopefully I'll remember how they tell me to do it in that article I read. Put the Y at the end. You could put that Y in there. Let's do this. That's what comments are for. Y was here in the article. There we go. So that'll tell me. And see, you can put a comment after something that's activated. It won't hurt a thing. And it's just a comment. That's what it does. It tells the program or the script not to read it, but it tells the person, and it tells the person, this is a comment, read it. So pretty nifty, really. Nifty. Okay, so I won't mess around with that anymore. And I'm going to leave that just like that, other than I was thinking, oh, maybe I can work on it while I eat. Man, my eyes hurt. Everything. I'm just worked so hard. My eyes and fingers and my brain. I worked my brain so hard today. I need to relax. So I'm going to do that. Close it now. Oh, okay. I forgot I was looking for something. Oh, it's still looking. I didn't know. What made it do that? You put it, okay. Put it over in what area makes it do that? Bring that up. If you hold it still long enough, there you go. Quit moving the mouse. Home, Don, local share, trash, team viewer. What? Trash. Huh. Why is there so many trash files, team viewer, trash files, team viewer? I guess that was from when I was trying to get it to run, and it didn't run. This, yeah, you could drag that and make it wider. Well, let's do it. Right. I don't think it'll be that way the next time. Normally it doesn't matter. You don't need it to be real wide like that, but sometimes it helps. Quit doing that. I can't read. Dadgummit. That's a new bug that's... It's not a bug, it's a feature, but it's a bug for me. Golly. I have to hold my mouse up there so I can see what line I'm on and follow it. Come on. All right, so I'm going to stop this because I don't care anymore. What was I even looking for? I was looking for Kickstart files. Well, maybe I'll find out. One way or the other, I was just wanting to show. I'm not going to build a Kickstart file or anything. I have some of them. I have some saved Kickstart files. I can open one. Once I get my drive scanned, I can open one up, show it. I'm going to put that like that. Go to videos so I can see what's going on with my video. Okay. And those, I left them in alphabetical order because it was easier to figure them out and read them. Actually, I had them in file extension order. Let's put them on modified. Usually that's the way I like it, that way. The last thing I was working on shows up at the top. Yeah, see Don's favorite apps install list right there. Okay. Yeah, I would really like to use an application to clean that, clean out the duplicates, because then it'll be right. I won't, no matter how hard I try, it'll always be a little bit wrong. Okay, so I'm going to eat supper, and I don't really think I even want to come back today. Wait till tomorrow, get some rest. Let's check in on our scan one more time. Let's see. There we go. Okay. And we won't have any idea of how long it's going to be, because even those estimates are never anywhere close to right. Can't get it to switch, hit, or stop. It's switching just fine. It just wouldn't stop in the right place. I just hope that it runs. Of course, I don't have any battery backups, on my computer. So if you ever have a glitch in electricity, you also lose what you're doing, lose your work. I can't remember. Yeah, I did put. I did a screenshot of that, but I'll do another one. Where did it save it though? I'll do it that way this time and see. Saved it in pictures. This is a live system. I need to tell it to save it on the, what am I booted up to? I don't have any other. Oh, yes, I do. I can save it to this, to the drive I'm scanning. Since it's a brand new screenshot in a live system, I'm not worried about it being infected. I don't think it will jack up the scan. Now, because I've scanned my systems many times while they were running. What I am wondering about is where. Do I want to make a new folder or what? Yeah, I think I do. Okay, well, screenshots, yes. Screenshots for Fedora 28 live security. All right. Now from now on, they should save there. And what I'll do is I got to go over here and get these and move them. That's what I got to do. Where was a file system? Home. Home will be where I want to go. Pictures. Yeah, there they all are. So I'll just say copy and then go to Seagate Drive, Pictures. There it is. Paste. There we go. Now, that would have been gone. They were in the live system. Can I go back? No, I needed to go back from. I'm trying to go back where I was a minute ago. There it is. Live user pictures. I'm just going to delete those because that's just more stuff. 506 updates available. There must be even some more new ones. Okay, yeah. Screenshots. Normally, I've been like I say on my 32 gigabyte SD card, I just have a screenshots folder. Well, just a while ago, I was like, well, where did they come from? What machine? So I won't open them up right now. You couldn't see them anyway. Okay, but I'm glad I thought of that. I didn't have it set up right. I just hope that it goes. I mean, it's going to be so many hours. I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. This is the first time I've tried to scan this. This it's about I think there's somewhere 2.5 to 3 terabytes of data on this backup drive. So I'm scanning it and the system that it's on, the ASRock Fedora 27 system. And I think it might be through with the Fedora 27 system because it's, I don't know, well, actually, it doesn't go in order. It seems to randomly jump around. So it's on the backup drive. It was on it right up at the beginning. And then it would go back to use. Then it went run. See, it went boot, run, user. Of course, this might not be the order that it went in because I have it ordered in name of the problem found, but like you can do it. Okay, so boot, run, user. So it's still in the system right now. It's not in right now. It's in the actually I don't know where. Oh, down here is what tells you. It's in the Seagate expansion drive, Lenovo i5. Fedora 23, that's what it's scanning right now. So the backup of my system that I just reformatted, that's what it's scanning right now. That's the only thing you can do to tell where you're at. But you don't know where it's been really. I mean, you know where it's been up there. You get a clue from the ones. I mean, it only lists the ones where it found a problem, and then you know where it's at. But you don't know what order it goes in. I've never seen any rhyme or reason to what order it goes. So you don't really know how far along you are, anything, about when are you going to be done, It doesn't even it shouldn't really try to tell you the estimate of how long it's going to be scanning for, because those things are never right. They absolutely just kind of give you false hope and aggravation, in my view. I was going to say, is there anything else in there? No. No elapsed time or anything. So it'll be done when it'll be done. That's it. Okay, so and it could be, the last time I scanned this drive, it was 2.5 days and 2 nights. But it wasn't on this machine, and I still can't remember if I did it on the Lenovo i5 or if I did it on I did it with a Bitdefender. Yeah. And I think I did it on this. I really was thinking all along that I did it on the Dell 6000 laptop, which is about one of the slowest machines I've got. It runs good though, and it did it. It did whatever I was doing on it. I had it ran. I know it ran at least one night. Wait, not one night. It ran all day. It ran like 12 or 16 hours. That's what it was. So that must not have been this drive. I must have just been scanning what I've plugged into it, because it wasn't this machine that I was trying to check. Unless I'm completely off. No, I don't know. I just don't remember. I remember thinking about, okay, if this machine, that laptop, I was thinking, okay, if this thing's not done by the time I go to bed, should I shut the lid and shove it up under there? Or, I thought, it'll make noise. Then I thought, it'd get hot. And what I wasn't thinking about is on this one, it's set up so when you shut the lid, it goes to sleep. So it would have stopped the scan is what it would have done. So it finished just, in time that night. But when I scanned that backup drive, I must have done it on I must have had the Lenovo i5 running for that long. It would be the only one I think I would even try it on, other than the ASRock. And the only reason I hadn't tried it on the ASRock before is because I thought it'd be too loud and too hot. It actually didn't make me too hot, because the air conditioner's been running good, a lot. And it wasn't near as loud as I thought it was going to be over there. I think my bed and my pillows and all that blocked the sound. I think it actually would have been louder if it was up here on my desk, where my other one that looks just like it is, than it is down there. Just the way. So that's good. I'm glad it's not so loud. Only other thing about that one is I just hope that when I put Fedora 28 on it, it doesn't have any more of these weird problems it's been having in Fedora 27. That's one of the reasons why I thought, really, it needs to be scanned again, because it's not running right, and it could be that it really does have malware. But the thing is I scanned it in this exact same way already once. But it doesn't mean something couldn't have changed since then, but it came out clean. I scanned it with Claim AV from Fedora 28 Live, and it came out clean. That way, if you scan, even I think, just like in Windows, when viruses can hide with the operating system running a lot easier, they just pretty much standard practice, they hide when it's running. You just really don't need to scan a system for viruses with that operating system in Windows. And I think the same principle should be, if you really were infected, should be true in Linux too. So if you really want to find out, then take all the precautions that you know of. That you can think of that you know of. So live system, that is by far the best way to clean up. And that's the other thing about places like Staples, for instance. I've worked on machines that they had scanned before. They take and copy a portable virus scanning app. They copy the executable somewhere on the hard drive, usually straight on C drive, sometimes into a folder. They run it from there inside the operating system. and it cleans up what it sees, and then they say, here you go, your system's clean. And that's the way I guess most of these people do. The only difference in that scanner and the one that you download for free is it have a few more features. For one, being able to run live like that without being installed. It's all set up where it can do that. I've looked at that stuff over the years and read about it. They're not more powerful, better cleaners than what you get. Well, unless you download one. Some of them they'll actually tell you. I don't know, say like probably a Vira would say, okay, you get this for free, and then if you pay, you get these extra scanning features. And it's not just bells and whistles; it's actual detection features. So I don't ever use anything like that. But you know, ClamAV is it's completely open source. Period. I mean, it does everything it possibly can, and it's a good scanner. Avast, all its scanning is all there when you use. That's what I use on my Windows systems. Have for years now. But it has all these bells and whistles that it pops up ads and tries to get you to buy, you know, and I'm sure some people do, and that's how they make money. Some of the other ones, most of the other ones, well, they're just not worth even taking your time to download them if they aren't fully functional. So whatever one you're going to use, and like I said, well, now when you get into rescue systems, which is what I always use, some of them run on a Linux distro, like the one Bitdefender runs on Gentoo. I found that out this morning. Finally looked around until I figured it out. A lot of them run on Debian or Ubuntu. I've never seen one that ran on Fedora, which is what I've been thinking about it for several years. I need to make one myself because nobody else has done it, because Fedora is the only live Linux system I know of that can mount the LVMs that Fedora uses. And so if you want to scan a Fedora system in a rescue mode like that, you know, then you're going to need a Fedora-based scanner. The reason they don't use it, I'm sure, is because Fedora is one of the heavier resource users of Linux distros, and so they want one that's lightweight, so that it will run on systems with 1 gig of RAM or 512 megabytes. Some of them will run on 300 megabytes of RAM, and they run on everything. And they'll run on everything from an i386, literally. Well, not all of it, but they used to run on a real i386. But when they say i386, that will be like back to say really a 486 machine, not a 486 machine, but a Pentium 4 machine, something in that class there. From there on up. When you see a program labeled i386, that it generally will run on Pentium 4s up to the tail end of the 32-bit, like a dual-core 32-bit or whatever. Well, actually, I don't know if there's any dual-cores in 32-bit. Yeah, I guess there are some processors. But anyway, then when you jump up into the 64-bit, usually they're all going to be dual-core and up, and that's going to be i686 or x86-64, depending on. Well, i686 would be a Pentium. Pentium 4 is really a 586, if I remember right. It might be a 686. But anyway, the dual cores that are 64-bit are usually going to be x86-64. Is what you're generally going to run on them. They could run. I'm going on and on. Okay, so anyway, mixing myself up. So, but what I was trying to say is, F-Secure is a good one that'll run on just about anything. It's really lightweight, but it deletes everything it sees. You don't have any control over it, so to be careful with that one. VBA Rescue was one that was pretty lightweight. I think it would run on a machine. It would definitely run on 512 megabyte of RAM, and it'd run on the old ones and the newer ones. But it's a little, you got to really fiddle with it to set it up. You got to pay attention and learn how to set it up. It's not all automatic. Bitdefender is booted up. It downloads, it downloads the newest version of Bitdefender. I finally figured that out, and the virus definitions, and then starts running. So it's definitely one of the easiest ones to use. And it does, when it's done, it asks you, what do you want to do with this stuff? So it doesn't just break your operating system right away there. And see, with me, like all the backups I have on my backup drive, there's no operating system to worry about breaking, but I don't want it deleting something that's going to automatically delete all my Linux files that I know are okay, you know. I just wanted to get rid of the sure enough Trojan, so I don't want anything that's fully automatic. And then there's, well, Clam AV is what I'm running right now. Kaspersky, or I call it Kaspersky because that's what it looked like to me. Kaspersky, I just realized the other day, I thought it was, it's Kaspersky, has an S in the middle of it. That's a real good one I use. Those are one of my go-tos. And I like a bit of Fender. I quit using Kaspersky because it got to where it wouldn't run on any of my machines, and I haven't tried it again recently. I think I might have downloaded it on my server, and then I never did put it on any. Well, I put it on my easy-to-boot drive, and then it wouldn't boot. And I also put Fedora 28 on there, and it wouldn't boot, so then I deleted them again. That's what happened. And I didn't ever... I guess I might want to... If I need to scan my backup drive again with something else, I might have to put it on a USB, straight on just a single, just on a USB stick, or could do a CD or whatever. It's not big. It could be a CD. But... Oh, my preview over there is not showing me, and I thought, what? Oh, I paused it a while ago. Okay, so anyway, that's some of the ones I can think of. But I found that the last time I had that big Windows 7 infection on 3 Windows 7 machines 3 years ago, I ended up I had to look and look and look to find more, because generally I just used 3 or 4, and then I had, well, I guess I named about 4, didn't I? I had my favorites that I used. And I had to find more because they were still coming up infected. And so I ended up I found some that ran on little live Windows systems. I didn't know there were such a thing. And I didn't really like that, because then those could always get infected. And see, especially when, like, I'd set them up on my easy-to-boot drive, and that's a FAT32 file system that's writable. So I was afraid that my rescue system could get viruses on it. They might be able to attack and get in there. Of course, the live system would just delete. It goes away when you shut down. But the system that I boot from, that have my ISOs on, it could get on there. Is what I was afraid of. I never saw it happening, and I just scanned it today, and it was perfectly clean after using it several times to scan for viruses. So there may be more protections in those live systems than I realize for not letting that happen. But anyway, still scanning for viruses. Well, see, I knew I was going to have to do it again to my backup drive, because I kept backing up these systems, having to, had to back them up somewhere that I wasn't sure were completely clean. Not 100% sure, maybe 95%, or I don't even, maybe more than that, sure that they were clean. The ones I've been scanning and working with. But anyway, I wanted to get it cleaned up so that I could start, so I'd have everything on it safe and available for my brand new system. Now, it's going to make me probably end up having to do it again, because after I build, I'll build this one, then I'll build Mom's new system, and while I'm building it, I got to go get her newest. Right before I give it to her, I will copy her email profile from Thunderbird from the Dell 1525 laptop. Well, there's going to be some spam with some malware. If nothing else, there'll be some spam with malware in that email profile. So I'm going to have to at the very least, scan the files I copy over. That's maybe what I do instead of scanning that whole thing again. Although I did it one day and it didn't really take all that long, I don't think. I can't remember how long it took. But it's really kind of safer just to scan a whole system if you're going to start copying files off of it. But I got to do that. And then when that laptop comes back to me, it's got Fedora 8 on it, and I'll probably reformat it. I'm going to reformat it one way or the other, but I'll probably put Fedora 9, because I thought about, well, maybe I'll put Fedora 28 with XFCE desktop, but I already tried that with Fedora 26 or something, and it just couldn't run. It's too slow. So that's when I put the Bane 8 on it, and it runs real good on the Bane 8. Because the Bane is a lot lighter weight than Fedora. So I said I was going to go, and instead I started jabbering. So I'm going to go now and go get me some food, and then I won't be I'm not planning on coming back and doing any more videos today. I'll be tomorrow. All right. Bye-bye.